It's been said that you can't change what you can't measure, and that's why many people decide to get their body fat percentage tested. But no matter what number you got from your body fat test, I'm here to tell you that number is actually wrong. There, I said it. The body fat percentage that you got, whether you spend a lot of money or none at all, is wrong. Every method of getting your body fat percentage has a margin of error as little as 1% to as much as 5%. But that doesn't mean that the body fat test you took is irrelevant. Thing is, it doesn't matter which method you use. As long as you use the same method, you'll get consistent results. Even if those results are inaccurate, you will be able to notice a trend of whether you're gaining or losing muscle mass and or fat. And the choice is yours, whether you want to spend a lot of money or not. Hi, my name's Tom with Friscified Fitness, and these are 2 ways that you can test your body fat percentage at home that are almost free. Let's get at it. But first, before we get to the 2 body fat testing methods that cost almost nothing that you can do at home, before we get to those, let's talk about the ones that are a little more high-end. DexaScan is allegedly the gold standard of body fat testing, and that uses imaging technology. There's also the bod pod that looks like a giant egg that Jonathan Winters crawled out of on Burke and Mindy. That uses air displacement. You also have the hydrostatic weighing, where they compare your weight on land versus submerged with all of the air out of your lungs. And then you have the bioelectrical impedance tests, which you've probably seen them. You may even own one at home. You either hold on to the handles or you stand on a scale that has metal foot plates, and it sends a small current through your body, and it tells you the estimate of what your body fat is and your lean body mass. Now, at the top end of the electrobioimpedance is in-body. The in-body test I have taken several times because my gym has it. It does come at an extra cost of $20 per go, which is fine. $20 is nothing. And the first time I took the in-body body fat test was April of 2024, just before I started my 6-month cut, wherein I lost 35 pounds. By the way, I made a video about that, links down in the description below. And I did the in-body body fat test every 2 months during that 6-month cut, knowing full well the numbers would be incorrect, but consistently incorrect, thereby showing a trend. And October ended that cut, and according to InBody, I was 14 point something percent. I did not try the InBody again until the end of May of this year, just before I started my 1-month protein sparing modified fast. I made a video about that. It's down in the comments below. But I'm using the InBody body fat test as a comparison to the 2 other methods that you can do at home for almost nothing. The first will be using skin calipers, using the Jackson Pollock 3-point test. And why 3-point instead of 5 or 7? Well, I'm administering the test to myself, so I cannot reach around to my triceps or my subscapular region. I can only test what I can reach. And the other method is the Navy body fat test. But first, let's take a look at the proper way to administer these tests. Now, with the Jackson Pollock 3-point test, I'm starting with the chest. And to get the measurement in your chest region, it's along the perimeter between your armpit and your nipple. Halfway in between, take a good squeeze, making sure you don't get the muscle, and you measure that. Now, I also encourage you to do that 3 times and take the average measurement. And then we move on to the waist, where you take a diagonal measurement 1 inch to the right of your navel. And again, do that 3 times and take the average. And then you measure the skin fold on your thigh, and you want your thigh to be somewhat relaxed, and the measurement will be halfway between your hip and your knee, and you take it at a diagonal. And again, with all of these measurements, you want to measure 3 times and take the average of each site and plug it into the calculator. By the way, the link to the calculator is down in the description below. With the Navy body fat test, you get a tape measure and measure around your waist just below your navel. And then you take a measurement around your neck just below your Adam's apple. Then you plug both of those numbers into the calculator, as well as your height and your weight. By the way, that calculator, you guessed it, a link to it is down in the description below. So, what did we learn? Well, we learned that the Navy body fat test and the Jackson-Pollock 3-point test, they came out with the same figures, which were not that far off from the in-body test. So knowing that, will I continue doing the in-body test? Yes, out of curiosity. And going forward, I will compare results I get from these Jackson-Pollock 3-point test as well as the Navy body fat test, and compare them against some of the higher end body fat tests just to see how close they are together. Okay, there is one other body fat test that I did not mention, and that's comparing yourself against pictures of others. And you've seen these pictures before or something like them. They're pictures of men at different body fat percentages. And the idea is that you compare what you see in the mirror versus the pictures. Now, I have a couple problems with that. First of all, subjectivity of the one comparing themselves. They're either going to think they're more cut or not cut enough to meet different body fat percentages. Second, it comes down to lighting. These pictures are taken under perfect lighting. Chances are, when you're looking at yourself in the bathroom mirror, it's not perfect lighting. So I choose not to use that type of body fat test. So do you get your body fat tested? Which method do you use? Let me know down in the comments below. And do you find it a beneficial tool? Let me know that as well. And while you're down there, please give me a like and a subscribe. That's about it for today. My name's Tom. This is Friskified Fitness. We'll see you next time.